If you can get out of debt and save some interest, do you want to save the maximum amount of interest if we're using the same amount of money? Of course you do, but it takes a ton of math to do it. I can't guess. I can't use a pencil and paper to figure it out because there's millions of calculations that need to be done to come up with this. So watch this. So now we're waiting. Oh, we're going to go through July. We're going to pay the bills. We're going to get money in. And then the program says, keep putting money away in savings. Listen, why are we continuing to put money away in savings when we could be putting that money on the debt? Because the longer we wait, the more expensive the debt is. Watch this. I'm going to change this window up here to next debt transfer. When does the program predict that we will be able to put money on debt? And it says we're starting out in June, but we should be able to put money on debt. And this is how much money we will have saved in our bank because the program has directed us. $3,120. $3,120. When we do that, watch this. Oh my goodness. The program says we can put that money on debt. We can knock out that Visa card in one lump sum 2 months later. We knock out the Visa, and then we find out something that's very important. I need you to take a look at the left side of the picture here, and we can see that by doing that, we're going to save $1,736.34 in interest. We never have to pay Visa because we waited a couple of months, made the minimum payment, and then knocked the whole thing out and saved $1,736.34. And I did that from my savings account. Wow. Now watch this. We get down here and it says program says, oh, we make our regular mortgage payment on the first of the month. Now remember, John and Rebecca Jones have over $5,000 in their savings account already. Why then is the program saying make the mortgage payment and then wait 6 whole days and then apply an extra amount to the debt? Because this is the optimum time to do it, because I get one more paycheck in here and then I can optimize how much interest I'm going to save per dollar. Watch this. Now, this is where it really gets exciting. The program has done the math. It says this is the right amount to put towards the debt, $1,116.98. Don't round it up to the next dollar. Even though I've got over $5,000 in savings, I could easily round this up to $1,200. But the program says stop right here, $1,116.98. If you saw what we did earlier, by putting more money on at the wrong time, the amount of interest we could save per dollar actually goes down. If you're coming to the room late, watch the whole thing on the replay, and you can see the math we did to show on an amortization schedule by putting too much money on at the wrong time violates the law of diminished return. There's a certain point where more is not better on anything, even when paying off debt. There's a certain point where more is not better. So the program says put $1,116.98 on the debt and then save $5,435.91 in interest. What just happened here is this. If John and Rebecca had paid their loan down the regular way, the way the bank wants them to, and paid down their principal or gained equity of $1,116.98, that equity would have cost them $5,435.91. But by the fact that they gave the bank the money early, they got their equity for free. It saved them $5,435.91 they would have paid normally. Now they got that equity for free. What? Yes, sir. Didn't cost me $5,000 to get it. I got it for nothing because I put it in my savings account. So folks, here's why I always ask when somebody brings something to us, and it's not to be smart, it's not to be rude, but it's so important. If I'm going to apply a system, how much money am I saving and how much is that per dollar? And is it maximized? That's important. So Don, if maximization is so important, then if you have $5,000 in the bank, why don't you just put a little bit more on? Well, let's do that. Let's change this to $1,500 because I got it. I got it in the bank. I'm going to change this to $1,500. And now I can see the program will instantly recalculate. Instead of $5,000 in interest savings, I am now saving $7,259.77. If I do the math, I will find out by taking this number and dividing it by the $1,500, I'm actually saving less per dollar. I need you to focus on what the program is saying in the upper right-hand corner, everyone. Watch this. Potentially, I could save $179,497 in interest if I follow the program. What happens if I say, you know what? I can give the bank $1,500 because I like round numbers. Why wait until the 7th? I'm going to tell the program I'm going to put it on the 1st. Let's pay $1,500 on the 1st. I'm paying more and I'm paying it sooner. Watch what happens to your $179,497 with just this one move. And I need us to focus on the $497. Watch this. $468. I am not saying I paid more and I'm paying it sooner, but the program is telling me I'm going to save less interest overall, and that's just one move. What happens if I start making several different moves without calculating the opportunity costs of each move? That's why you need an opportunity cost calculator to look at all the ways you could spend your money and say, listen, pay this much to the penny and no more. Let's start this thing from the very beginning. All right. And I'm going to show you 2 examples. Okay. And I got a few minutes left, and this is what we're going to do. We're going to reset the account. And then I'm going to show you something very important that I've never showed before. Because we were talking about velocity banking, I'm going to show how the program actually uses that. Okay. After we do this, I'm going to take a look at selecting the entire month of June, and we're going to pay the bills just like we have here. Okay. So we're going to do multiple and get rid of all the month of June at one time. Okay. So we're going to just say we did it individually, but I can wipe out the whole month at one time. And do you see the actual amount of interest I just saved? $112 in interest I just saved. I'm going to take the entire month of July now, and we're going to do multiple executions and take care of the whole month of July and execute that. And now I'm up to $222 in interest saved. But now we're just going to take care of the first part. Oh, that's September. We don't want that. We want the first part of August, where we're going to pay the mortgage. We're going to do this. We're going to do this one, put some money in savings, put some money towards the visa and the mortgage. That's all we're going to do. Okay. So we're going to execute that. When we execute it, watch this. The program has figured out for us that by waiting a couple of months and putting that money on when we're supposed to, and the day we're supposed to do it, and the exact amount to the penny, we have just saved $7,615 in interest I never have to pay. And it's right there on the screen. Folks, if you're not saving money optimally, you're saving some money, but you're not saving the most amount of money each dollar. We're putting each penny to use.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L. method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.